Hello everybody, in this video I want to talk about something that came up by you and also while testing my build, Lantern Army. Now first of all, I found a wither armor that I have with one cooldown instead of the other enchantment that I didn't use, which is just perfect now. Super responsive. So you mentioned it in the comments and I actually found that I have one. I have like 5 of them, 5 wither armor, and one of them actually had the perfect combination of enchantment that I did. Not gilded, but still amazing one for my build. However, the topic that I wanted to talk about here is Shockwave competing with Explosion to eliminate enemies. So basically, and you said it correctly, what happens is that when you hit enemies, if you have Explosion enchantment, exploding enchantment on your weapon and you hit enemies with the shockwave, the explosion won't take place. It only happens when you hit enemies with your weapon. Now, the thing is that the exploding is amazing, so does the shockwave, especially for my weapon that have committed, because it allows me to use the shockwave, deal enemies to enemies far away from me, when they come into me or I come to them, I already deal double damage. So why it's important? Because it's a relatively slow weapon. It's not relatively, it's a slow weapon. So basically I want to be able to deal that extra damage, especially when each single hit deals me a million damage. So if I can get 2 million on the second hit, it would be amazing without actually needing to spend 1 million. So I can just one hit many enemies. So actually the build, what you see here is me playing the build doing unshot hunts. So I tested it and the results are as follows. So yeah, it can compete with the shockwave. However, the thing is that I want to enjoy both utilities, and there's a way to do it with this weapon. With this weapon, it actually works. The reason that it works is because what I told you right now. I have a very powerful hit, so the chances that I will kill enemies, you can actually see it here, in front of you. Many enemies are exploding. Most of them are exploding because of this. Because the chances for me to eliminate enemies when I hit them, especially if they are close, I don't really mind if they're a bit far. The thing is that I want to get close to enemies and make sure the other enemies around me actually eat them. So the idea is to utilize this as crowd control when I'm kind of overrun, because if I'm not overrun, I don't really care a lot. But again, this utility is amazing and I play with this, and it just, when there are tons of enemies, especially when there's this bumper that takes you up, I just clear everything in a second. And again, so with this weapon, because the damage is so high, especially the second hit when I deal 2 million with it, even more if I'm actually buffed, means that exploding will take place most of the time. You can see it here on the screen, that exploding, just you see, everything is exploded. So although I'm using shockwave as well, enemies are exploding, because the competition between the shockwave and my damage that I deal with the weapon, who is actually gonna finish the enemies, most of the time the weapon comes on top. Now it wouldn't be the place. Let's take it to the opposite direction. Let's say I'm dealing like 1 damage, alright? Not damage, sorry, 1 damage. Let's say 10,000 damage, alright? And of course, if I hit enemies and the shockwave is gonna eliminate them, and I'm not be the one that's gonna eliminate them, what will happen is that there won't be any explosions, because the shockwave will be the more dominant damage dealing utility. So I actually won't see explosion, right? But again, if you have these two with a very high damaging weapon that I have, where the damage doesn't compete very well with the rampaging, you're gonna find that you enjoy both the advantages of committed synergizing with shockwave, enjoying shockwave of course, and also enjoying exploding. So again, great for crowd control. So I was playing a lot and I see that many enemies explode. You can see it even on the screen. There are lots of explosion happening because I eliminate enemies with the weapon most of the time. And of course, if they're just eliminated by the shockwave, I mean, I don't mind, of course. Just clearing things up faster. So if they drop, it's okay. But the thing is that even with big enemies, you can see that bigger enemies that surround me, I'll be eliminating them more frequently with my weapon than the Shockwave itself. So this is why this kind of versatility is really nice, because I enjoy the kind of the best of both of them. Right? If you just go one way and decide to draw, for example, Shockwave, it won't synergize with the committed. If I decide to drop the exploding, I want to enjoy the crowd control. So what's the kind of, you know, you need to search for sweet spots in some builds, because then you're going to enjoy lots of utility and you're actually going to feel it. Right? Rather than just going with one, dropping the other. Again, we need to search for synergies and also a good balance. Right? It doesn't mean that you need to go only with this and only with this. If I just go, for example, just with exploding, it won't be that great, because exploding is an extra benefit for crowd control. It's not the only benefit that I want with my weapon. Of course, I need to consider that I have my pets. They are also actually eating enemies as well, and they're not causing any explosion. So yeah, so I mean, I was aware of it, but the thing is that this is something that the community mentioned, so I need to address it and test it more fully to kind of see how it works. Because if you have enchantment like I have, I'm just going to show you this in a second. Alright, so as you can see here, this is the weapon. Alright, as you can see, the damage of this weapon is very high, right? 1 million damage, right? And of course, when committed, it's going to be double the damage of enemies that are wounded. And not just this, I also had the chance to strike twice. Alright, so this is very, very good. That's why the damage here is very high. And if you see the Shockwave, you can see it here, but the Shockwave is around it's not around, it's 429k damage, right? So basically, if you consider committed this one, and you're going to see why it's super powerful. And if I actually eliminate enemies, small enemies, it's not a big deal. The big deal becomes where the enemies have higher damage, because mobs explode after they are defeated, but in the level 3 is still 60% of enemies' health is damaged. So the higher HP they are, the more damage they deal. And actually, when there are small enemies, I can eliminate them very fast. The problem is when there are many enemies that are stronger. So if I eliminate the stronger ones, they explode, they can just wipe up many enemies, just deal lots of damage to all nearby enemies. So and of course, it's also fine actually eliminating many small enemies together. Just go in and just, you know, let them just wipe them up. So this is why it's actually worked very well, and this allows me to enjoy the synergy of committed Shockwave and also enjoy exploding as well. That happens very frequently. Now there's another benefit for my build, is actually when playing with a friend, you can actually buff a friend, which is great because it's already amazing as a single run with single, you know, just you playing. But it's also great if you invite a friend, because you can buff them up as well. This is just insane. So as you can see here, actually. So again, I want to talk about this one, again, these benefits and other benefits of this build, but the more I play with this, the more I see how amazing it is. It provides so much utility, and this is why when I play it's so versatile, right? I feel it when I play. Hopefully I will get some drop of Gilded, hopefully Wither Gilded, that can even make it even stronger, we'll see. But right now, it's just a blast to use. So again, this is the points that I want to talk about. I'm going to share, of course, more in upcoming videos, more updates and more build, of course, amazing builds. So make sure you subscribe to my channel and give this one a little like, and I see you very soon on the next video. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye bye. Cheers.